Alright guys, what is going on? It has been a while since I last uploaded a video. I figured I'd make a video with some updates along with a build / price cost of my Evo. I've gotten a lot of questions. A lot of people have asked me, how much did it cost? And well, today you guys will learn what the damage is. I have done some things to the car. I'm not quite sure what you guys last saw of it, but I can tell you guys how it is right now. And pretty much I've made the car as perfect as possible to my likings, and I'm very, very meticulous. I did spend some time and money making the car nearly perfect to my standards. Right off the gun, you guys might notice that I now have white Brembos. I did powder coat those along with the wheels, and we put some new Indy 500 tires on. So that alone made a big difference, along with OEM lug nuts. It looks beautiful. Another thing that you guys might notice is that the fenders are no longer faded, they are clear. And I have a new bumper. This is a new OEM bumper that I had bought. I bought it in February. I didn't get around to painting it until July, but nonetheless, definitely worth it. So I resprayed that with the front lip as well. The headlights, I got rid of the VLANs and went back to these OEM. I just think the OEMs look so much better. Also got the OEM fog light deletes. Those were a pretty penny, I will not lie, but I really wanted them, so I got them. I genuinely think the front end looks the best this way. I feel the VLANs are overplayed, and I don't know, I just don't like the visibility that they have at night. The OEM lights are far superior. I just think it looks a lot meaner this way. I also got the vents on the side of the intercooler. I don't know if you guys can tell, but I was missing them before, but now we've got them. As you guys can see, the front end looks beautiful. I think I forgot to mention, but I did get 25mm spacers for the wheels. So my fitment is a lot better now. Having no spacers on the factory wheels kind of sucked because the wheels just sunk in way too much, and I don't know, I'm just not about that look, and just made it look clapped. But having these spacers, making it super flush, just gives it that beautiful OEM plus look. One of the other big things that I did do to the car was give it a full cut and buff along with a ceramic coating. Now that did take a while, but there is no regrets in doing it, because look at the paint. It just pops off, and I absolutely love when a car has near perfect swirl-free paint. It just looks that much better in comparison to one that has a bunch of swirls and just a bunch of imperfections. When I buffed out the car, I did restore the rear diffuser. As you guys can see, it is now a brand new black color. I used the Cerakote wipes, which if you guys don't know what those are, they're just these wipes that I don't know what they're made out of, but you wipe it on and off the trim that you want to restore, and it pretty much makes it look like brand new again. It's pretty amazing. I definitely would recommend those if you guys are in the market for some. There's a quick walk around here, but you guys can see that paint just looks very swirl free, very perfect, and I am so happy to have finally done it. This is the ultimate daily in my opinion. If you think you got a sleeper, let me know what you got. I love when other people do the OEM plus sleeper look. It just, I don't know, it's just something about it that you can really appreciate, But enough of the updates. Let's go ahead and talk prices now. So I guess I'll start with the cosmetics, as we are already here. When I bought the car, it had already came with the Voltex replica front lip, so that was no charge. The OEM headlights, I got them off my buddy, traded a couple things that I didn't need, and basically at no charge. So there are a couple things on the car that I didn't really pay for. getting those things out of the way, we can start off with the ceramic coating. I did paint correct this car myself, so that was free of charge. However, I did have to buy the ceramic coating. I'll put a picture of the ceramic coating I used right here. This is a very good coating. I've used it a handful of times now and I have no regrets. Definitely recommend it. It was $80. I got it on Amazon. They have a storefront on Amazon and it was on sale that day when I bought it. I think it goes for $90 or $95 when it's not on sale. So it beads the water very beautifully and it makes washing this car so much easier. The OEM fog light deletes is the next thing on my list. I got these off of a guy on Facebook. He's out in California, I believe, and they were $300. They are OEM, so they're not going to be cheap, especially being a discontinued part. I did pay $300 for that. The next thing, if we come right over here, is going to be the powder coating job. So, and the OEM lug nuts, I got them on all wheels. So the wheels, I got them repowder coated in this rich silver color, which the closest color to OEM. So I got it done this color, and the Brembos were done in this gloss white color. Also got new rotors. So the total cost of all of that was $900 for the Brembos and the wheels. The lug nuts were $200. Indy 500 tires were $1,000. So all in all, just in wheels, tires, suspension stuff right there, it is pretty pricey, I will admit, but definitely makes the car look so much better, handles so much better with the new tires. And I think I paid an extra $100 for the TPMS sensors. So that's that. Let's keep going. Before we continue, if you want to powder coat your Brembos, you do need to rebuild them, and the rebuild kit for the front and rear runs you about $200. The front bumper I bought off of Devin Nimala. He is a YouTuber out in Spokane, which is pretty local to me. He sold it to me for $300, which is really cheap for an OEM brand new front bumper. And paint materials for the bumper was about $150. As far as exterior goes, that is pretty much it. As far as updates go, maybe next year I'll get some wheels, who knows, but I really love the sleeper OEM plus look. If we go to the inside, I did put a WK short shifter with the carbon shift boot delete. The WK short shifter was $550 and the shift boot delete was $225. The shift boot delete is by the brand Panem, Panem. He does make a lot of shift boot deletes for Evos 8, 9s, and 10s. So that is that. When I bought the car, it did come with the boost and wideband. I did add the oil pressure gauge and the ethanol content gauge, but that came with the flex fuel kit. So I won't add the price of that gauge as it came with the kit, which we will get to later on. But the oil pressure gauge was about $100. I got it on eBay. So yeah, that pretty much does it for the inside of the car. It's super simple, but super clean in my opinion. The wheels come from factory with a beautiful interior. So let's go ahead and keep going to the performance parts. This is where all the money is pretty much gonna accumulate, I'm not gonna lie. So let me just start off by showing you guys what already came with the car when I bought it. These two carbon covers already came with the car, along with the oil catch can. Other than that, everything else I had to do myself. So let's start off with what's hidden. The oil cooler. It is a C-Trap oil cooler. It is an upgraded oil cooler from OEM, and that basically ran me $600 brand new. Next up on the list is the motor. This is a warranty motor. It's a brand new Mitsubishi motor, but I had blown the original one, warrantied it out, and I only had to pay $1,000. The insurance warranty covered about $15,000 of the rest, so saved a lot of money there. And yeah, I've only put $1,000 on this brand new motor. Next up on the list would be the 3.5-inch intercooler piping kit from ETS. You can't really beat ETS when it comes to performance. They've made a good name for themselves, and for valid reason. So that kit was $1,700, and it did come with the white stencil that says ETS. Can't get other color stencils, but I think this looks the best with a white Evo. Next included on the list is the ETS intake with the upgraded MAF housing. This was a whopping $608, brand new from ETS. This bigger MAF housing is a must if you want to push 500 horsepower plus, as opposed to the stock MAF housing. Beautiful intake. Moving forward, we do have the MA Performance heat shield back there. This was $190, brand new from MA Performance. And along that area, we do have the MA Performance open dump downpipe. The open dump downpipe was another item that did come with the car, so I didn't have to pay for that. Although I do believe that one is discontinued, so pretty harder to find now. Going out of the downpipe, we do have a test pipe, which it's like a no-name test pipe. Came with the car, served me good. Don't have a reason to replace it. And then connected to that, we do have the ETS V3 quiet exhaust. I did go with the quiet exhaust because I wanted this car to be a sleeper. I really didn't want it to be too loud. I wanted it to be comfortable because I do drive this car quite far and quite often. So this is the V3 exhaust. It is very quiet. I will turn the car on right now and you guys can hear it. So here is a sound clip. Pretty quiet, very comfortable to drive. Definitely recommend if you guys want something comfortable. They do have the V3, the medium, and then the extreme. The extreme is pretty obnoxious, but if you're into that, I also recommend that. So that is that. All right, now I do have a upgraded turbo. As many of y'all know, this is the Argonari AGT 57mm turbo. This turbo is a very good turbo. I definitely have no regrets, and I would recommend and I vouch for AGT turbos. I've had nothing but a good experience with it. Makes the boost pretty quickly. This thing makes full boost right around 3,800 RPM, which is very impressive for a turbo of that size. The price of this turbo, however, was $1,800, and I did opt in for the 22 PSI wastegate spring because it is an internal wastegate as opposed to an external. But if you know Evos, you know that turbos for these cars, stock frame turbos for these cars, are not cheap. The next thing would be the MA Performance cast iron manifold. This manifold was $830. I got it brand new with brand new gasket, as y'all can see there. I spent about $200 on miscellaneous parts, that being the gaskets, turbo gaskets, seals. All of that was about $200. So just know if you're going to be doing this, you're going to want to buy new hardware, gaskets, all of that, and it does add up to about $200. In order to have a turbo, and in order to have that turbo perform to its full capacity, we do need a fuel system. I do have the radium fuel rail, radium fuel pressure gauge, radium fuel regulator, and ID 300 injectors, Injector Dynamics 300Xs, along with my flex fuel kit, which is an innovative kit, y'all can see there. So the injectors, which came in a kit with the Walbro 450 fuel pump, an inline fuel filter, and an install kit, was $1,100. Was an all-in-one bundle. The radium fuel rail was $150, and the radium fuel pressure regulator was another $170. The Grim Sport 3-port boost controller was already with the car when I bought it, so I didn't have to spend on that. The flex fuel kit was from Exigent Solutions, which I don't think they are in business no more, but it was $400. I do have an ACT HD Street clutch. Very good clutch. I honestly think this is like the best clutch for the street on these cars. It feels better than OEM, softer than OEM, and it performs better than OEM. It is a must if you want to put any power down on these cars. This clutch was $900. And I think the last thing in the list would be the Go Fast Bits blow-off valve. This was at around $220 brand new and shipped. All of this combined with the flex wheel tune from English Racing, which was $1,200, drumroll please, was a whopping, now that is the price that it is going to take you to build a 500 horsepower plus Evo 10. Now you can spend a little less, however I did buy a lot of these parts brand new, but I also did save money because a lot of the things came with the car. That being the oil catch can, open dump downpipe, and things of that nature. I don't regret it one bit. You know, if I can do anything differently though, I probably would try to find used parts. It helps with a lot of the wait time. The turbo did take about 2 months to ship to my house, which I'm not complaining. I don't regret it. But if you are not a patient person like me, there are going to be some things like that do take a while. I think the manifold took about 4 to 6 weeks, if I remember. And just some of these things, if you can find them locally, I definitely recommend buying them. You will save time and you will save money. But nonetheless, this concludes the total cost breakdown of my Evo 10. Let's get some cinematics. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Peace.
We'll be right back.